Uh-oh. Oh, the movie is not playing. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Comedy Cellar Nightly Show. My name is Dave Jusko. I'm here with Mike Suarez, as we always are, every Tuesday at 6 p.m., either sometimes in my apartment, which is amazing. I got to get rid of those boxes, or at the actual Comedy Cellar, which we will be back in 2 weeks for our big Halloween episode. But being at the confines of the Juskow compound is always super fun anyway. Mike and us representing Texas and New Jersey and New York. Hi, Cammie. How nice to see you. And just remember that if for some, look how pretty her picture is. Hello, Angela. How are you? And if you are somehow in New York City, you can see Jessica Curson tonight on the 7:30 show. Come to Papa live, which usually he asks me to do. This is awkward. And, of course, an hour with Mark Norman and Yamanika Saunders tonight, all happening at the Comedy Cellar in one night, which is why the Comedy Cellar is your only place, your only stop for comedy, the proper comedy. Hello, Elizabeth from Canada. Hello, Marcy from Kentucky. Hello, Catalina from Chile. So nice to see everybody. God, I got to tell you, I mean, I look forward to doing this show every week. But then when everybody starts coming on, it's even better. Anonymous, I was at the Billy Joel. I missed the ball. You know what, Anonymous? You are such. After I just said I was so excited to see everybody, let me explain what happened at the Billy Joel concert, by the way. You son of a bitch. So, yes, I was there with Gary Goldman on Sunday. No, she was. Don't be nice to her, Angela. She's mean. Here's the best thing. So Gary and I were, and I guess, yes, maybe I'll talk about it. Who cares? Gary Goldman and I were talking. We're having dinner together beforehand. He goes like, "Hey, do you like Indian food?" And I'm like, "You want to have an Indian food dinner before going to a concert at Madison Square Garden, where the odds of finding a bathroom in case there's trouble?" Or he was like, "Yeah, what's the problem?" I'm like, I don't know, any movie that's ever been made about Indian food, it's like there's always an issue. But we went anyway. No, we don't love Anonymous Catalina. That was an immediate strike. Anyway. Oh, all right. I guess we like. All right. She's great. Anyway, here's what happened. We're talking. Harry and I are talking like when he plays New York State of Mind, which we knew he was going to play. He said, "Do you think he'll mention the score?" Because the Mets were in a game 3 against the Padres, a pivotal game 3 that was going to either continue the season or end the season. And he said, "Do you think he'll mention the score?" And we're like, "I'm positive he'll mention the score." And they're like, "Do you think he's a Mets fan?" I'm like, "He's just a New York fan. You just play New York State of Mind. If the Yankees are playing, if the Mets are playing, he'll mention the score. If the Rangers are playing, well, the Rangers wouldn't be playing, right? But because they'd be hitting him in the head with the puck if they were there." So he finishes New York State of Mind on cue. And then he goes, "What's the score of the game? What's the score of the game?" And then there's like a kind of a fervor, like, because I was not checking the score. And then all of a sudden he goes, "All right, do you guys like rock and roll music?" Something, whatever it was, whatever he did next. He didn't say the score and he just dropped it. And then I knew they were losing. And it was kind of a good way to find out, like a cool way to find out, but it was so obvious, Somebody probably should have had in the prompter, like, "Don't mention the score." And then some guy was flashing his phone in front of me, so I saw, what was happening. And you know what? I couldn't be happier that I went. I wouldn't have been watching that game on TV anyway. The entire series, I was too nervous. I kept turning it on when the Mets were up at bat because then nothing bad can happen. But it was really bad, really bad, and the Mets are through. And the only thing I can hope for, Anonymous, is that the Yankees go down 1-2-3 starting tonight. Meanwhile, as you know, my cousin owns the Guardians, so I will be rooting for the Guardians heavy. As Aunt Judy knows, I wasn't sure that he really did, but he definitely does own the goddamn Cleveland Guardians. Can you believe that? Face the Nation profiled Arizona governor race. The circus took place in Phoenix. They're the best. I don't know what she's talking about, but I don't watch Face the Nation. I watch, what's the one on NBC with Chuck Todd? I like that guy. It's heartbreaking. What are we talking, Catalina? What are we talking about? The documentary about Chile. It's called My Imaginary Country. Why is that sad? I thought Chile was okay. You're from there. You seem okay. And what'd you say you were throwing your physics thing? She's also studying or doing homework.
Yeah, she's studying her physics homework right now.
Yeah, Meet the Press.
Or doing physics homework.
Yeah, I like watching that on Sunday. My Sunday routine, I watch Meet the Press, and I watch Joel Osteen. I don't know why. Something about that guy. He's very handsome, and his opening joke is always hilarious. And Jesus said, "Not in my house, you don't." And the crowd goes crazy, and I'm always like, "Yes, this guy's." Any pizza joint in New York kills any pizza here. Any pizza joint in New York kills any. I don't know what. Are you saying that New York pizza stinks, Angela, or are you saying that nothing can beat New York pizza because New York pizza is okay, but actually I've never been anywhere else where pizza is better than in New York, and I'm not saying New York has the best pizza. We've talked about this at length. Oh, Cammie just ordered a pizza. I love when she orders a pizza. She just orders it. She just orders a pizza. You don't see a lot of girls ordering pizza. I love that. I've seen her eating the pizza. It is sexy. Like just the way she just sits and watches TV and orders pizza. It's like you see on TV commercials. And I never do that. Oh, you're negative? Well, you know what? I'm sick of you when you're negative. I've been talking about that for 2 weeks now. Yeah, I know, Marcy. Joel Osteen. I don't know why I like that guy. I guess because I'm Jewish and I don't know any better. So he seems okay. But the thing about Cammie with the pizza, it's so funny. It's like she eats it the way they watch it and the way they eat it in television commercials. Like on the couch, just having a good time watching. Like the way you're supposed to eat a pizza, I guess. For me, thank you, Cammie. I would like those pizza pics. For me, I sit at a table and eat it properly but that's where I eat all my meals. This is my thing. I like to sit down and eat like gentlemen. That's what I always say. Somebody said that to me once, and I've been using that line my whole life. And I can't stand eating like when there's not a table and a chair. I'm just very uncomfortable. I'm not cool enough to do that. And I definitely can't do it in my house. I mean, it just looks so cool to just eat a pizza. Just like, oh, yeah. I mean, that face and expression I was doing looked like I was doing a blowjob, but I was just this is the pizza, and just sitting and getting high and watching TV. That's the dream, but I just can't do it. As a matter of fact, I've been thinking every April 20th for the past 10 years since 420 has been a thing. I've always wanted to just smoke a big joint and be part of it, but I can't. What I realize now is I don't think I could smoke an entire joint by myself. I'm pretty much with 2 or 3 hits tops. Mike, what about you? Do you even get high?
No.
Have you ever?
Yeah, I have before. I just don't really do it.
Yeah, me and Sarah Silverman, we met as high friends. And now we are at this place where we pretty much take 2 puffs before we have a nice meal, and that's where it ends. But that's the best. I still do a puff before dinner and stuff. It's awesome. Angela, you disappointed in what sense? Because I couldn't smoke an entire joint? Meanwhile, Professor David Juskow has got his dates of when I am teaching. It starts in January. It is 8 weeks. They're putting the flyers all over campus to sign up. I can't believe it's happening. I'm so excited about it. The course goes from 5:30 to 7:10 every Thursday night. How much time is that, Mike? That's like an hour and 40 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
No, not yet, Anonymous. That's a good question. I think I'm going to have to do it online at some point, right? Because I think I could probably make I don't know. I mean, I know everybody wants to see it, so I'm not sure how it works. I don't think you want to have the kids in the picture or anything, so I don't know how it works. So far, no. And it's only half the semester. Well, we're seeing if there's a big thing of people that want to take it, they might do it again. But of course I can do it. I know, Aunt Judy, right? I mean, if Billy attends, That is going to be so hilarious. Oh yeah, Kemi, there is something super hot about me teaching. There is definitely a super hot stuff. You know, it's going to be like Raiders of the Lost Ark shit. All the girls are going to leave apples. They're going to have the love you on the eyelids. That's of course. Yeah, of course. Not just every girl fantasizes to the boys. Oh, so Gary Goldman goes, what would be Billy Joel? Then again, what she's that was that high school chick secretly seeing her history teacher, so maybe that's it. You were Catalina, you were talking about Raiders of the Lost Ark. Anyway, Gary Goldman, Mike goes, what is the name of the gay Billy Joel cover band, or what would be the name? And I just go, Turnstiles. I don't know why, but he thought it was the funniest thing, and I can't stop saying it now, like Paul Lynn. Turnstiles. Anyway, I'm so excited for the Paul Lynn Halloween special. On October, what is that? The 25th, Mike, or the 20?
Yes,
25th. Yeah, I'm very excited. Dino's excited. Hopefully, everything will be cool. So, I thought about the makeup thing because I really like some teachers. Well, Anonymous, I was in love with all my teachers. I mean, how are these kids not going to be in love with me? I was watching Friends today, and I saw the one where the boy comes up to Ross trying to get a good grade. It's just because I'm in love with you. And I'm like, oh, I don't want that to happen. I mean, it's okay. I get it. I mean, I get it. I am so excited. I mean, this is great, right? I mean, can you even believe this? Can you even believe this? We'll be doing this show, and I'll be like, in my class on Thursday, we were just talking about it. No, Marcy, the Paul Lynn special will be on here. We're going to show the Paul Lynn and comment on it while we're watching it all together. We've decided that I don't think it'll be a problem, right, Mike? Because it's on YouTube anyway.
Yeah.
Or, whatever. So there won't be, I don't think they'd take us off the air while we're doing it. So at least while we're live, it'll definitely be on. So yeah, it's just on YouTube. I mean, anybody can watch it now, but I thought we'd all watch it together. It's a little dull, but with the two of us together, it should be super fun. And of course, it's got Witchy Poo from HR Puff and stuff, and Margaret Hamilton, the Wicked Witch of the West. And I just can't wait for it. Now, look, Mr. Lynn, every year you forget that it's Halloween. And every year I tell you that it is. Oh, it makes me so happy. And of course, the band Kiss will be performing. It's one of the greatest specials of all time. It's up there with the Star Wars Christmas special. What did you say?
Our guest is here.
Oh, terrific. Oh, that's terrific. That's terrific. Well, there's no reason why we might as well just bring her in, I guess. I am so excited that she is here. We've been trying to get her on the show for a long time, but she had some stuff going on in her life that I think she can talk about. I mean, it's good stuff, I think. But she might be our favorite guest, right, Mike?
Yeah.
I don't think any of our other guests are watching, so it's okay. But I mean, I really do believe that. I even put it on Twitter today that she is. So let's just bring in our favorite person, Molly Heckerling, everybody.
Hi.
Oh, look how cute you look. Hello.
Thank you. Even though my aspect ratio is different from yours.
Yes, your aspect ratio kind of sucks, but are you doing it on your phone?
I am, because I was afraid that if I tried to do it on the laptop. Oh, you want me to try to flip myself?
If you flip it, it'll see.
Ooh,
That's
look
so
at you.
Better.
You're more of a techie than I am. You're
all right. I'm looking out the window. I know where you are.
Yes.
Can we just start there?
Yeah, let's start there.
You don't mind telling everybody this? I mean, nobody.
No, I don't mind.
Your
It's
address,
not like anyone cares where I am anyway.
So Molly, we do.
Oh.
You look really good. You look really good. You look very young.
Aw, thank you. I got carded at the Hannaford the other day, so that felt really good.
Oh, that is good. And
yeah, that's the local supermarket, and I was buying enough booze to kill Jim Morrison, and the lady asked to see my ID.
You were buying what?
I was buying enough booze to kill Jim Morrison.
Oh, enough booze to kill. Okay. Well, that's you see why we like Molly so much. Okay, so you actually pulled off a trick that a lot of people did that I wanted to do, but you actually did it. That Marina Franklin's been talking about, but you actually pulled it off. I don't think this would have happened if not for COVID, but Molly took her entire family and just moved to Vermont.
Yeah, I did the baby boom thing. I scooped up my family and
Diane Keaton, right?
Yeah, we wanted to do the funny farm routine, so we moved to Vermont, and it was a largely climate change driven decision as well, because I'm a little neurotic on that front.
Well, I know if you're neurotic about that, I also know you're a little neurotic about COVID. So I guess that all those factors just moved you out.
Yeah, I mean, it was also New York is just so expensive. So it was sort of like, do I want to live with my mother forever in an unaffordable city, or do I want to, take a stab at somewhere else?
Is that where you were living with your mom?
Yeah, because she has a building that she owns on the Upper West Side. So it was me, my mom, my boyfriend and kids, and my grandma doing the sort of like Jewish Grey Gardens routine.
I know your grandmother lives there because when I interviewed your mom, I saw her. She wouldn't go away. She was just always hanging around, and she's like, "Ma, just give me a second," And then I found out that they all live together. But why wouldn't, if you own a building, why not?
Right. I think my mom's dream was to recreate the tenement houses that she grew up in, whereas we got Grandma Rosie on the top and Grandma Molly above that, and
Sure.
Yada yada. So we were living that life for about 10 years, and that was nice.
Anonymous bringing in the true baby boom stuff. Did you inherit a baby, quit your job, and meet a veterinarian? Was that Sam Shepard?
Not yet, but I have made about 2 tons of applesauce, and it's awful.
What is that? Country Baby?
Yeah, Country Baby. I dumped Harold Ramis, and I made a bunch of applesauce, and now I'm a mogul.
God, isn't that funny? Your dad was in that movie for 2 seconds in the oddest casting of all time.
It's so funny because it's like I love watching my biological father in a movie where he tells another woman with a baby, like, yeah, I can't do this. Peace out.
Oh, it's blowing my mind. Of course, that's right. He's just like abandons her. Oh my goodness. Wow.
I mean, it's not his baby. He's just like, nah.
Yeah, I know. I remember him being I'm like, why did they cast Harold Ramis as this role? We all want to like Harold Ramis. And in this movie, I hate him for abandoning her. That's the role he's playing. But yeah, and then it turned out he was actually doing that in real life.
I mean, he's all right. And, in the movie, it's like it wasn't a thing that they previously had planned on. I think my frustration more with that movie is like, oh, you're this high-powered businesswoman and you can't figure out, like, tabs on a diaper. Like, all of a sudden you become, completely, incapable and, like, borderline autistic with diapers,
Well, that's always the gag, I mean, that's the fun of a male movie like that. 3 Men and a Baby. Diapers, what is happening? I don't, that's a true comedy where you can't figure out the diapers. But excellent point. She's a complete businesswoman, right? And she should have been a little smarter, and let alone doing much more research about that house. That never should have happened to her, being that kind of businesswoman. Meanwhile, James Spader was my favorite character in that. He is the goddamn best, and he is so good at playing those kind of evil roles, even if it's just a shining moment.
Yeah, he's got resting schmucky face.
He
so
sure does.
You just buy it.
When she comes back, he's like, "You look terrific."
Oh yeah, I mean that just like murder you with smiles sort of thing. That's that's corporate, but that's very Hollywood too, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose so, but he was just the best at it. I mean, he was basically just playing his character from Pretty in Pink as a grown-up executive business person. So,
yeah, I mean, it was the 80s. It was a great era for that.
Do you know how your dad got that part? I mean, just like, why did he choose an acting role? Like, it always confused me why he was in it. Did he have something to do with the people that made it? I don't know who directed it.
I mean, I don't know. I actually don't remember who directed it either. And now I feel stupid for, like, if I'm going to make the reference, I should at least know who to.
No, nobody knows who. I know who directed every movie, and I don't know who directed Baby Boom. And
it was Alan Smithy.
Who's that?
No, that's the fake name directors use when they don't want to take credit for a movie.
Meanwhile, if you think about it, it must have been a guy that's friendly with a lot of directors, because of Sam Shepard. He's a playwright and a director, right? And Harold Ramis is a writer and director. So he was using these people that act as a second career. That's not their first thing. So it's kind of very odd casting.
Maybe. I mean, yeah, I didn't know him then, and I never thought to ask him about Baby Boom when I met him while he was alive, because I had yet to see the movie.
You talking about Harold Ramis?
Yeah.
You never thought to ask him about Baby Boom?
Well, I didn't see Baby Boom until like a couple of years ago. But maybe it
that was going to be my
knew
first
him and was
question
like,
if I ever met him. Now let me ask you about Baby Boom. Now for a couple of years, I just can't even.
Fuck Groundhog Day. Let's talk about Baby Boom.
Wouldn't that be the best? See, then he would. That's how you get him talking.
Right. Yeah. Maybe it was on that.
I decided this would be the role for me that I always wanted to play.
You know, I'm very method, and I thought I'd make a good himbo on screen. So
he was the bimbo. He was the fuck buddy.
He's a himbo. Yeah.
Yeah, himbo. Oh, Mike, find out who directed that movie.
Charles Shire.
Oh,
what
nice.
else did he do? Do you know? Oh, do you know, Molly?
I don't know.
He also did. He was a writer for Private Benjamin, Alfie, and Father of the Bride.
So he.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Father of the Bride is another Diane Keaton movie. Right? Yeah, there's Diane Keaton and Steve Martin. No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was Diane Keaton and Steve Martin.
Martin Short, right?
And Spencer Tracy.
Right, and then that was a remake, and then they made another remake of that movie recently, I think, with an all Spanish cast with Andy Garcia, I believe. No,
they did, yeah.
Yeah, so they just love remaking stuff. Well, we know that.
It's also kind of Meet the Fockers ish, or what was it? What's the original?
Meet the Parents.
Meet the Parents. Yeah, it's like a great story about just hating your fucking daughter's husband.
You're right, and that'll always work. But that'll always work until the end of time. It's so funny when I think about Meet the Fockers. I guess that's the one I was like, wow. When they got Barbara Streisand and Dustin Hoffman, I was like, oh my God, that's wow. Right? It was like, I don't like those movies. It's too much. I don't know. It gives me agita. It's just like, I'm like, just shut up and be politer to your dad or something. I don't know. But God, when they cast those guys, I'm like, wow, that's how big this movie is. They went for it. That's.
You're like, how did they get Buster Keaton and Al Jolson? Well, they got everybody for this movie.
Well, I always think about, one of the things that, I don't know whether I'm teaching I told you I'm teaching that class on your mom's film, Clueless.
Oh, right.
Starting in January at this college in this university in New Jersey. And one of the other things I was going to talk about is Notting Hill, And the best part about Notting Hill, what I would teach these kids is I'm like, well, they actually, the movie is about this regular guy dating the most famous person on the planet. And it would work with, quite frankly, anyone else. I think that's, anybody, a good actress that was fun. But they actually got the actual person who was the most popular actress on the planet at the time. So it works double.
So was she playing Julia Roberts in the movie?
No, she's playing Anna Scott. But she's pretty much playing Julia Roberts. I mean, that's the gag. Because I guarantee when they were pitching it, they're like, well, he's dating like a Julia Roberts type, like in The Player. Remember when they just keep saying, we want a Julia Roberts type, we want a Julia Roberts type, and then they get Julia Roberts?
Yeah.
She was so popular, we forget sometimes, because mostly because of her piss poor acting ability, but she doesn't watch the show.
She's got that great guffaw, though, an award-winning guffaw. And the huge lips.
People are asking if you ski.
I don't ski. And that's a weird thing. It's like I moved to a place that's very rustic and outdoorsy, and I'm the least outdoorsy type in the universe. Like, I'm a total shut-in. So, like, I haven't driven much because I've been living in New York for 18 years. So
I'm actually wondering if you even had a license.
Huh?
I was wondering if you even had a license.
I have a license, but my boyfriend let his license expire because he was also living there for so long. So he's going to take his driving test again.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I know. It's like that's the thing. I love New York, but it also sometimes, like, if you live there long enough, it makes it so that you feel incapable of living anywhere else. So I was like, okay, let's just take a stab at this and see how it goes.
So, I mean, what does your boyfriend do for a living? Like, what do you? I mean, I'm sure you're okay. I'm saying, but are you working
He
there? Are both of you working? Do you
Well,
need to work?
I just signed a deal, so I'm working on something that I'm actually going to get paid for, so that's nice.
Yeah, that's always good
He's
when that happens.
I know, right? It's like finally, a blessing and not just like me feeling like a schmendrick who's writing for no reason. Um, Much to everyone's chagrin. He was working before the pandemic, and then when the pandemic hit, it was hard to do the types of jobs that he does. So he devoted himself fully to homeschooling our daughter. And he was really amazing at that because he comes from a family of educators. And now that she's back in school, she's actually skipped a grade. So she's doing really well. She's really loving school. Once he gets his license, he'll get a job here. He also writes and does game design stuff. And he's into gaming. He's one of these young comic book guys who really likes his tabletops and his magic cards and all the things I don't understand. So.
And what about you? You just said you were working on. You got signed to do something.
I got signed to write a script that I'm hesitant to talk about because like the ink's barely dry on anything. But it should be good.
Well, why would it be bad?
Me and my
good.
self-esteem. I'm like, well, if I'm involved, it can't be good. But no, it'll be great. I'm actually working with my mom, so there is a hint of the nepotism thing kills me and makes me feel shitty, and at the same time, it's like I just want to join the Writers Guild. So it's like a Freudian nightmare, but in a good way. So it'll be fun. We'll see.
Two of the people here say congratulations, and our friend Catalina from Chile said she just described all my male college friends. I guess talking about your husband.
Yeah, they aged into the dominant demographic. It's like, the nerd boys that I grew up with in the 90s are now the 18 to 40-year-old block that everyone's catering to. And it's wild because I think he grew up feeling like a total outcast and a nerd. And then, reaches a point where it's like, oh, you're all into this now too? Where the fuck were you when I was growing up?
Yeah.
You all want to act like Deadpool. You don't know. You don't read comics. There's a little bit of indignation.
Well, how are you going to just get quiet and a place to work so you can concentrate? Oh, right. Sorry, I'm just jealous. I think we're all a little jealous. This is really cool. Are you ever coming back to the city?
No, I'm coming back next month for my brother's wedding. So, and obviously, if I stay away for too long, my grandmother will threaten harikari. So I have to come back every now and then with the kids and stuff. That was the other thing too, is that like it's not in such a remote spot that it's difficult to bounce around, which I do anyway. So, the quiet is weird though. It's like and people are like suspiciously nice here.
Right,
I feel like I'm about to, it's like Get Out, but for a Jew, where it's like, you're all very nice
Right.
Gentiles and I'm going to get murdered, aren't I?
That's what Marina keeps. Think about how Marina feels up there. She's been talking about Vermont and moving there for a long time. She's the only black person up there. Like she says it all the time. It's really funny.
It's
She's there now. She's there today.
Is she?
Yeah.
Oh, when is she? Is she performing at the Burlington Comedy Club?
No, she's just there for vacation. I just asked her that because I wanted to put you guys together. She wants you to come on the show on Saturday. Her the YouTube show around.
I love her. Yeah, she's amazing. I would love to do her show. She's hilarious. Yeah, I saw her on TV years ago, and then I played with her at Broadway Comedy Club, and I thought I embarrassed myself because I was like, oh my God, you're Marina Franklin.
No, that makes her no one.
Okay.
But that's so funny. She's obsessed with Vermont too. That's why I'm like, I got to put these guys together. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, this place is hurting for diversity a little bit, although it's not as bad as I thought it would be. Like you see, some Black people and some Asian people, and there is like a synagogue somewhere around here, but it still seems suspicious to me. It feels like it would be the Olive Garden of synagogues, you know what I mean? But it's nice. Every time I tell people, my LA or New York friends, that I moved to Vermont, the general thing is like, oh, you're gonna learn how to milk a cow, you're gonna get some maple syrup or whatever. I was thinking of asking Ben and Jerry if I could be their third, but that's about it.
Well, now
Follow
they
Bernie
don't.
Sanders, all the diners.
Now whoever owns their company doesn't want to sell to Israel anymore, so that's an embarrassment to your other last name.
My other last name, Israel. Yeah, Neil disowned me for a few years. So
real? Oh, because he was upset about the situation?
Yeah, which, I can't really do much about retroactively, aside from committing harikari myself, I guess. But yeah, we weren't talking for a minute, and I went with Heckerling, and we started talking again, though, so we're cool. But I just stuck with Heckerling anyway, because it's like, you remember the Seinfeld episode with the Mandelbaums, where it's like, oh, it's go time, Mandelbaum. Yeah. So that's like me and my mom and grandma with Heckerling. Heckerling.
Are you gonna open a crepe place? Maybe.
I was gonna open a little artisanal shop where I sell homemade honey and applesauce and hair woven tampons and see just make a go of it.
I don't know. This is so cool. I can't even imagine my life ever being cool where I can just have a place like that's a house and quiet and nice, and it must be really great. I mean, it's sometimes I remember just talking about skiing in the winter and stuff. The fall must be amazing up there, but I bet you the summers are even perfect.
The summer was really nice because we came up here a couple times before we made the actual move. The fall is, it's gorgeous, colorful. There's shit all over the ground and seed pods in my car, and it's like 30 degrees already in the morning. So I'm nervous about the winters because, like, new driver, but also, like, is it going to be like Misery with the huge snowbank?
Well, it's going to be everything. Any Stephen King novel, it's totally going to be like that. Yeah. But are you going to continue to do stand-up comedy? I mean, is there a place to do it there?
There is. There's the Burlington Comedy Club, which is like 5 minutes away from where we live. There's actually a comedy festival that I submitted to, but I don't know if I got in or not. I think they said they were going to let people know in October. I don't remember which day, but there was it's a Vermont Comedy Festival that takes place in Woodstock. I also thought that, like, maybe this would force me to approach comedy differently if I spent longer chunks, like, working on material and then actually booked more gigs on the road, got comfortable driving, and then, like, branched out to other places. Because, like, New York is so easy to just stay in New York and perform in New York. I just felt a little claustrophobic, I guess, after a while. And felt like making any decision, even the wrong one, would at least be something. It would be action.
Yeah, no, Elizabeth was saying I could work in Vermont. I could work from Vermont. Yeah, no, I know I could. That's true. I guess I could. I guess anybody can work from anywhere anymore, but that's the thing. But you were so COVID scared that when you told me you moved, I was so upset because we were finally in the Comedy Cellar studio. We're not today. It depends on when Mike is in Texas or not. Mm-hmm. I was so excited to have you as our first guest. And then you're like, well, I'd really like to, but we moved. And I'm like, oh, what, the West Side? Or, whatever. No. Yeah, that was so shocking. But it also made a lot of sense to me since I know how scared you were to come out of your house during COVID and even do comedy. Because I even wanted you on a couple shows I was doing, and you were just like, we're not ready. And that was like 2 years in,
I know. It was a weird time because they kept coming up with all these different fucking variants. And then Jason would get really wigged out because the numbers would shoot back up. And we were really more concerned about my grandma because it's like, okay, if we get a breakthrough case, that's not a big deal. But if she gets it, then she could just die because she's
she's fine.
She's fine. That bitch will outlive us all.
Of course, you know that's the answer. Well, how old is she?
She's 90.
Oh, she's 90. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Still
no, she's
walking
old.
around?
But
Still walking around
yeah, but
annoying
she's
everybody,
fine.
like in when we did that podcast with your mom. It's unbelievable. I'm like, can you
Mhm.
tell your mother to get out of the shot because I'm trying to get some. She just starts talking. She's like doesn't seem to understand what a podcast is. Can you imagine? This 90-year-old, she's like, what? What am I doing?
She's like, what's that? What are you watching?
Yeah. So wait, she also had kids there, but I don't think they were
Those
yours.
are my kids.
Oh, they were.
Was it like a cute little blonde girl? That's mine.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, I guess they were your kids, right? Because
Yeah.
your brother's just getting married, right? So his marriage
My
date.
half
Although you're
brother,
not married
he's
either,
actually
so I don't know.
he's my half brother on Harold's side, so he doesn't live with us.
Oh.
Which is funny because we do have a revolving door of friends and family who like come and live with us just at any given time. It's a kooky house. She's had like Josh Miller living there, Josh Trank, Scott Thompson. Like everyone's
Scott Thompson,
David
Carrot
Day,
Top?
everyone's crashed at our house.
You're talking about Carrot Top Scott Thompson, right?
No, I'm
kidding.
talking about so Scott Thompson's an actor. He was in Fast Times.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that means there's 3 Scott Thompson.
There's a lot of Scott
Right? There's the
Thompson.
one from The Kids in the Hall. Carrot
Yes.
Top's actual name is Scott Thompson.
Oh, is
And
it?
now the guy from Fast Times, is that the guy who had played with the glasses and the blonde hair?
Yeah, I hope you had a hell of a piss, Arnold.
Arnold.
That guy.
Right. Oh, they're like
Um,
close, huh? Oh, that's funny. Because I remember he was all over, this is 20 years ago, when they had the commentary. I remember he was all over the commentary.
Oh, he's great. He's hilarious. I think our housekeeper got mad though because she saw him naked one day, but that was an accident. But yeah,
Was
good
it?
times. Was it?
that's really
Hashtag me
cool.
too.
But that's the thing about your mother. She just keeps in touch with all of her actors. It's really funny, actually. She must be, such a fine person, which I think she is. But it is kind of funny. I know she just keeps in, she seems to be friendly with. Anytime she does a movie, she's like all in. That's the way it seems to me.
It is that way because everyone.
Oh yeah,
loves
there he is.
her and
What's that
Yeah,
thing on the
there
right
he
side,
is.
Mike?
Yeah.
That's him on the right side too.
Yes.
In what?
I'm not sure. It was just a comparison photo I looked up.
Yeah, it looks
So
like
funny.
one of those.
He is versatile.
I guess so. I wasn't sure if he acted anymore.
I think he does. Yeah. I think he's still doing his thing. I don't know. We're friends on Facebook. He's still moving and shaking.
Well, that's pretty cool. But you don't see Damone, right? Anyway, that's right. No, I'm obsessed with that guy. Mike knows.
Oh wait, I did see Damone. No,
What?
I did. He came to when I was in a band called the Lost Patrol. He actually came to one of our shows.
No way.
Damone. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You mean as a favor to you and your mom?
Yeah, because he's a nice guy.
He
And
is.
tried
I've
to
heard
sell me
very.
tickets to Springsteen.
What? You're kidding, right? Because that would have been the greatest day of my life if that had happened. Listen, I got some tickets to. What do you want to see? Earth, Wind, and Fire. Why don't you
What do
come
you
to me
want to
last
see?
week?
Plain white tees.
He knows where to come when he wants tickets. Yeah, we've been trying to track down that guy for a long time. I don't understand why he's not acting. He was one of the greatest actors of our time. Just that character alone, I could see him just play that character 100 times. There are plenty of actors. Maybe your band could perform in Vermont like Diane Keaton's Plumbers Band.
Oh my God, that's funny. Oh my God,
Good
what
one,
was he had
Monica.
some stupid catchphrase? It was like, yup.
Oh, that sounds like so fun. I want to come visit you guys.
You should come visit. We have a fold out and everything.
Yeah, you want to hear something real messed up, and it's fun. It'd be funny if you live right next to her. I started to kind of talk to this girl that I knew from high school, who I'd always wanted to go out with, and she moved to Vermont from New Jersey, and she was very happy there. And she's like, I just had to move out. I got divorced, and I moved to this place, and we were starting to get, it was working. She's like, you're going to come visit? And I'm like, yeah, I think I'm going to come visit. And then all of a sudden, she got breast cancer. and she's like, I got to go through this myself, and she won't take my calls or she won't talk to anybody, and I haven't talked to her in 2 years now. I have no idea what she's doing. I know it's pissing me off. It's like, it's kind of funny. She said, I don't talk to my sister or my dad anymore. And I'm like, this is probably why you don't let people in,
This is what gave you wouldn't let anyone in except the cancer.
Yeah, right.
That's awful. I'm sorry. My heart goes out to her. I was afraid that you were going to say she got breast cancer and that's just a total turnoff for you. You stop talking about it.
Well, I'm not going to deny it might be, but I was trying to help, and I want to call, and I call her all the time. I mean, every 3 or 4 months, never calls back, never texts. I'll text just to see if she's okay, because I've known her for so long. And I guess I used to go out with her sister when we were in junior high, but then I think her sister became a born again. So,
no, that's a turnoff. That's worse than cancer.
Yeah, one would think, but if you're good looking, then sometimes you let that go. You'd be surprised what guys do if you're good looking enough.
Not just guys, women too. I had a friend recently who fell head over heels in love with a fucking Trump supporter, even though she's like Little Miss Liberal. And I think it was just because no one had cleaned the cobwebs out of her cave in a couple of years. So she was just like, I really like him. And it's like, all right. Well,
It's true. Anonymous says, looks is Dave's only criteria. Well, that's not true, Anonymous, but there is something to it. A lot of people say, I've been hanging out with this girl and everybody knows she's awful. She's really a horrible person. And she keeps getting us into fights at bars and stuff. There's really nothing to offer. Why do you keep hanging out with her? I'm like, she's so hot. It's just what am I going to do? I mean, that's the only answer. I mean, I think she knows if she wasn't good looking, I would just not want to talk to her anymore.
I think she knows that if she wasn't good looking, she couldn't be because it's there's it's a stereotype, but it's the hotness to insanity ratio, where it's the hotter you are, the more insane you are.
It's true. Yes, the Anonymous says she was horrible on the show. That's right. She was horrible on the show. She was mean, disrespect for the show. Yes. And then I was like, I'm not hanging out with her again. And then a month went by and I was just like, well, I don't know. I can't help I am that shallow, Angelo.
You were like, can I have you on my podcast? By the way, I named my dick my podcast.
I can't help it. It's awful. It's what am I gonna do? That's the way we were brought up, me and my sister. My mother always told us we were unattractive and we all got plastic surgery, and so my sister and I talk about this all the time. We're obsessed with good-looking people. We want to come back in our next lives as them. I mean, it's so fun. My mother told my I guess my sister's first kid, she's okay looking, and my mother's like, oh, you're beautiful. And then the middle kid was a very ugly baby, Liza. We can say it now because she's good looking now.
Okay.
And so my mother would say, well, Dory will be the pretty one and Liza will be the fun one. And my sister's like, stop saying that. Well, I have a lovely nose now, Aunt Judy, because I got it done. I got nose and my chin done.
I'm sure it was lovely before.
In the 80s. Well, we've had pictures. I've shown them before on the show. I can't find them. If you find that Morton Downey show I was on YouTube, that's the best example. Big nose, ponytail. I'm talking about slasher films. I made my own slasher film back in the 80s, and I'm yelling at the audiences, screaming at me that I'm a piece of shit, and it's awesome. It's one of those shows where everybody's screaming at it before Jerry Springer.
Mm-hmm.
And it was here in New York, and it was a classic. I'm wearing
it was a TV show or something, or a comedy show.
It was a TV show. No, it was a TV show called The Morton Downey Show. And I was pretending to be this guy. The weird part is I pretended to be this guy that made this movie. Oh, there it is. Wow, you're good.
Oh, I like your nose.
Look at that, Mike. You are a genius. How did you get that so quickly? Yeah, I got a little earring, a little baby hanging by its toe earring, because yeah. So anyway, I pretended I made this movie, Splatter Girls, and I made a trailer for it, but everybody thought it was the full film. And then I had all these horror people asked me, we'd like to, produce your movie or like, distribute it. And then I had to tell them I never made the movie. I was just pretending that I made the movie. And now I'm so angry because making a movie like Splatter Girls, which was a movie musical, it would have been a cult classic by now if I had made it in 1989.
You should still make it. You should hit up Lloyd Kaufman and see if he wants to.
My friend used to work. I was in the Toxic Avenger Part 2.
Really?
Yeah, my friend used to work for Lloyd Kaufman. It was funny. I was in one of the scenes on this big staircase, and there's like, anybody that wants to stay and do close-ups, you can stay. And I was wearing leather pants, so I'm like, I'm out. But Bob Greenberg, I don't know if you know him, or Mike, if you know him, he stayed, and it's just so funny. He of course he stayed. He loves being in the doing the close-ups and the mugging for the camera and stuff. I was out. This thing's going nowhere. But then when it's 2022 and you're like, oh man, I wish I had done it. You just want to see. I told you I was alive in the 80s. Nobody knows.
I liked your old nose. You look like Miles Teller, but not like a douchebag.
That is like the highest compliment anybody's ever received from anybody. Miles Teller is hot. Marcy wants to know if you know about the Cars movie I made. I think I told her about it once.
I don't remember.
It's on Amazon Prime. The band, the Cars. I made a movie. I play Rick Ocasek, and I just made it, and it's really bad. But if you're high, do you get high?
Oh my God! Look who you're talking to.
Well, then this movie is made for you.
Awesome.
It's on Amazon Prime. Watch it this weekend.
Yeah.
It's awful. I wrote my own car songs because they wouldn't let us use any of theirs.
Yeah, the copyright shit. Well, I mean, sometimes that's better though, because it's more comical to just write knockoffs.
Oh yeah, Anonymous is saying I like the comments on the movie on Amazon Prime. Yeah, people hate it.
Oh really? Then I'm going to love it.
They're so mean, but they're idiots. They're like, this movie isn't like the Cars at all, and I'm like, yeah, no kidding. It's like, I think they were expecting, it to be like either a documentary or a true movie, and I'm like, listen, folks. This is all you're going to get. No one's going to make a movie about the Cars because they're boring and dull. And they didn't trash any hotel rooms and they didn't do anything. So this is what you're lucky. There it is. That's me on the car. Little painting of me.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Look, 2.5 stars. We went up.
Oh, there you go.
It was one.
You're finding your audience. Stoners who like an ironic laugh. It's like people probably
David Tell,
expecting,
Rachel Feinstein, Jonathan Katz. He tells the story. Remember Dr. Katz?
Yeah, that's
he tells
great.
The story as an animated snowman. It's good this time of the year because it's got a Christmas feel to it.
I love that. Like he's the Burl Ives of the movie.
That's right. That's exactly it. Yeah. And it was great. So my Elon's wife, Mike, painted that picture, and she first did it with my mouth open for some reason, and everybody just inserted cocks into it when they saw it somewhere. And I was like, you know what? Can you cover that mouth, please?
You're like, this guy's just asking for it.
I know. Anonymous was saying everyone's furious they paid $1.99 for the movie. It's so true. Everybody was. You got to see those comments. They are amazing.
Pearls before swine.
That's that comic book, isn't it? That comic strip.
Is it?
Oh, you didn't even know that. That's a saying, but it's a comic strip because I'm always obsessed with comic strips that are still around because nobody reads the Sunday paper anymore. But there's one called Pearls Before Swine, and it's horrible.
Oh my God, I can't wait to read it. Is Family Circus still around?
Oh, it's still around. I've been making fun of that for years. Me and Greg Fitzsimmons make fun. Oh, here we go. Okay. I knew going in this wasn't going to be top notch. This made it easier to watch. Yay, the production value was poor and the writing at times wasn't anything special. But as a huge Cars fan, I thought it was deserving to check out. Says, well, that's not a horrible review.
Oh, yeah.
That's not awful. Well, one of the dumbest movies ever, but that's a good thing. Well, that's
4 stars.
But these are the good ones. Where are the best? Oh, this guy's so angry. Embarrassing to watch. Yeah, he had known Ben Orr in the 60s. That means he's like 100 and he just doesn't get it. And was sure it would be great. It wasn't. Fuck you. I see some lame horror movies, but this one, I'm sorry, is so lame. It would make Rick Ocasek and Benjamin Orr turn over in their graves and haunt the producers of this monstrosity. It makes every member of the band look stupid as hell. That was our plan, you know. It's also very poorly acted, and I'm like, why? I don't know what you're. That is what the movie. That was the plan.
This all sounds like high praise to me.
1 star. I should have done a lot more research on this before purchase. This is awesome. I gotta say, and this is only a year ago, when I first saw the reviews, I was very upset, and now I love it. It was okay.
It's great. I hope someone's like, I can't believe I coughed up the extra $1 to rent this in HD.
Here's a good one. Waste of time and money, no matter how low the cost. I think a 5th grader put this together as told by his dad, who one time read a Rolling Stones article about a guy that once sat at a bar with a girl. See, they're trying to be funny, and I got to say the movie's funnier than what they wrote.
This guy loved it.
Oh, well, you know, he sometimes joins this podcast. He's the best. He gets it. He gets the gag. Well, Molly, you watch it and you let me know. I'm sure you will understand this was not made to be what it is. I paid for it all myself. You know, the whole thing cost about 15 grand. We just did it on the weekends. I did the best I could.
So one of my favorite movies of all time is a very, very low budget movie called The Forbidden Zone that was written and directed by Danny Elfman's brother, Richard Elfman.
Didn't see that guy. Rick Elfman.
It stars Susan Tyrrell and Hervé Villechaize. And it's sort of like a live action Betty Boop cartoon.
You can stop at Hervé Villechaize. You had me.
It's one of those movies where the sets look like they were made out of like cardboard cutouts that they scribbled on, like just the lowest of the low budge, but such campy fun that like it's my favorite. And your movie sounds like it's in that vein, so I'm sure I'm gonna love it.
Well, that's what it is. But now I can't wait to see the fruit. Oh, sweet Matt. Mike, you are a genius.
Highly recommend. It's full of tits and songs, and Danny Elfman plays this like Cab Calloway-ish devil character. It's awesome.
All right, that is what we're gonna watch it tonight.
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything after this.
I'll get high and watch your movie, and you get high and watch The Forbidden Zone.
Deal. Should we look at some slides I put together today?
Yeah.
You okay with that?
I love it.
You'll be
yeah.
able to see them. They changed our thing. I'm going to share my screen, Mikey, and start with this one. Can everybody see? Molly, are you able to see? I know you're just using your phone, so it must be very tiny.
I see. Right? It's a line of boats.
Yes, it's a line of boats. It's the USS Annapolis submarine, which is at the bottom, and the Ronald Reagan U.S. aircraft, but they also have the Japanese and South Korea ships on the side. They're practicing in case North Korea goes any trouble. But it looks, it makes you feel good, but it also just looks like the scene from The Spy Who Loved Me, where that ship engulfed the submarine that James Bond and all that crew were in. I don't know why that's the first thing I thought of. I was just like, there's no he goes, what should we do? And he's got James Bond and there's no alternative. We have to give up.
I like it. I mean, the symmetry appeals to my obsessive compulsive disorder.
Exactly. That's what took my exactly. I felt exactly. It's you and me are the same thing. Anonymous said you have to be high for the Cars movie, and she's completely correct. Please do not watch it not high.
It could be fatal.
Exactly. This was a bombing, of course, in Ukraine. And the only reason why I like it is because this woman is carrying an umbrella as if that's going to help. Like, it's like,
oh my God.
He's got like, well, I better bring my umbrella. It just doesn't make any sense.
You never know what Russia's going to drop on us next. Let me get my...
Exactly. Mother.
Yeah.
That, of course, is Aaron Judge hitting his 62nd Anonymous. I thought you might like that. That was exciting. But look at these. I like these guys on the right where they're kind of like, and remember, they're in Texas and they root for the Rangers. That's where you got to like sports sometimes when it transcends the team, and you're like, well, we're kind of rooting for this guy. He's a good guy. And that was exciting. Did you follow that at all with his run for 62? No, in Vermont, you didn't even know that. The Yankees are a baseball team that play out of New York City.
I thought it was like Yankees, like they're always yanking off. And
no, it's been it's a baseball. They've been around for a while. Sometimes they win.
Okay.
This was the Giants-Packers game in London on Sunday, which is so annoying that they have these games in London. And I think the NFL really wants to put a permanent team in London like they did in Family Guy with the London Silly Nannies, which was one of my favorite episodes.
I mean, at least those guys didn't get any concussions.
That's right. The London Silly Nannies.
Yeah, they just have really sore anuses.
Silly Nanny Stadium. They really go for it here. And I was just thinking, this was their mascot, like for real, right? It just looks like a real one. So I think our friend Marcy lives in Cincinnati. So this is if the London Silly Nannies played the Bengals, Marcy. That's what it would look like, the matchup. I don't know why I put that in. Anyway, speaking of sports, these people are so stupid. This is in Indonesia. There was a soccer match, a regular soccer match. They got so angry. 125 people got killed just by stampeding. It's hilarious because how do you get that upset about a soccer match? What is the matter with you people?
The more I think about humanity, the more I think that it doesn't matter what the thing is, if it's sports or politics, or people will just find a reason to just kill each other and police each other and bash each other's heads in.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
This is after the game. This isn't in the Ukraine. This is what happened at the fucking soccer match. And it wasn't like a gun. There was no gun violence.
Yeah.
Stupidity. It's unbelievable. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. And speaking of stupidity, this guy was a protester at the Rams, I think 49ers game last Monday. So he goes out on the field, runs out on the field, this idiot. And this guy tackled him. This guy, Bobby Wagner from the Rams. He was carrying a pink smoke and running around. So he tackles him. And the crowd goes crazy because it's really cool. The guy just comes out because he could see security needed some help. So he just tackles him. And now the guy is filing a police report against the guy that tackled him.
What was he protesting?
Excellent question. I have that right here. You ready for this? He was protesting. He's in a protest group called Direct Action Everywhere. And he was raising awareness for a trial involving the alleged theft of a pig from a factory farm in Utah in 2017.
Did they turn the pig into the football they were using for the game? I don't see the correlation.
Boom! Molly heckling everybody. That's right. Well, you know what? Now that you say it, now it makes a lot of sense that he would protest at a football game. I don't know. That's a good question. But it's so ridiculous that he's going to file charges against the guy that slammed the guy's on the field. Nobody knows if he has a bomb or a gun. He's doing the right thing. I hope not only do they throw that out, but they put this guy away for a long time. What an asshole. He made everybody nervous. What a douchebag.
I'm one of those people who I'm on the spectrum enough that sometimes when shit like that happens, I don't know what's going on, and I'm like, is this supposed to be happening? You see a guy run out with a smoke bomb, I'm like, oh, this must be part of the show.
Well, we all think that on purpose because nobody wants to think of the alternative. It's terrifying. And speaking of douchebags, this is not a bad scene. These are people. It's in Spain, and they make a human tower, and they had just all fallen down. See, this is a guy. They get like this. This guy's running up so they can do this. You see, the kids are climbing
There's
up
children.
to the top. Yeah, they involve children, and then it looks like that. I mean, it does look amazing, but why? I
wouldn't want my 7-year-old clinging to the side of it if a 180-pound person falls.
Look how terrified that girl looks.
They do. This,
Yeah, right.
this world must be so scary for children who just like have to slowly realize that adults have no fucking clue what they're doing.
Isn't that funny? I mean, you're so right. You're so right. They're growing up in such a crazy age that there's just no question about it. Right after September 11th, every day I can't even imagine growing. Well, I guess you did, right? I mean, you
Yeah,
grew up,
that was a
no,
wild
you
time.
grew up
I was
in
in
you
high
were
school.
born like the 90s.
I was born in 1985, so I just
Oh, you
turned
were?
37. Yeah.
Woo-hoo-hoo!
Woohoo!
That was that
Almost
famous
there, 40.
Woman for Soup song. 1985. Seen Madonna way before Nirvana. There was U2 and Blondie and music still on MTV. Her two kids in high school, they tell her that she's uncool. But damn it, I can't get the rest of it. But I was pretty close.
It's the end of the world as
we know it. I feel fine.
But yeah, I mean, well, even before 9/11, though, didn't you feel like it was a crazy world when you were sitting in the back of your parents' car, breathing in the fumes from leaded gas? Like, humanity's just groping blindly through its own stupidity a lot of the time.
I would never have thought of it. Mike, what's going on here? So only a
This
few
is about-
people. What is it?
About the soccer incident.
So only a few people invaded the pitch in anger over the match. The police beat them to the ground, and other fans that invaded the pitch in protest at the brutality. So it just became a thing. It just escalated.
Correct. It wasn't about the game. It was about the other stuff.
Well, that makes me feel a little better. Thank you, Jack, for clearing. The police then used tear gas. I saw that, which made the crowd panic. The stadium was $4,000 over capacity, and that's what caused the deaths. Yeah. Well, that's why we don't live there. Thank you for clearing that up, Jack. Good for you.
We've had stampedes at Rolling Stone concerts and Walmarts and things. We have our own stampedes.
I remember people dying at the Who concert in '79.
That must have been a good show.
It was. This is the Qatar Tower in Qatari, which is going to host the FIFA World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
And they're really quickly building these places for people to stay. You can see they haven't finished the inside yet.
I was gonna say I thought this was like the world's largest skateboarding ramp or something.
Ooh, right. Well, actually, to me, it looked like the thing from Time Cop, where they can go into the past or the future, or my favorite one, the Guardian of Forever in the Star Trek episode, The City on the Edge of Forever.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that one?
I didn't. I was not a big Star Trek person, and then I was I started watching The Orville because I'm a Seth MacFarlane fan, which prompted me to sort of go back and watch more Star Trek. And the I Am the Borg episode just cracked me up, or the intergalactic orgy. Like there's a great air of campiness to the whole thing.
Well, if you really want to see an outstanding episode about time travel and a really good just one-off Star Trek episode, if you don't like Star Trek, I've been trying to show this like to my nieces and stuff for years. It's called The City on the Edge of Forever. It's how much they pack into 52 minutes is amazing. And Kirk and Spock go through this thing, and they're trying to find bones, and Joan Collins is in it. Well, that said, of course, the problem is he falls in love with her. And then this always happens in all Star Trek where they're like, hey, we got to get out of here. And he goes, that's going to be a problem. I am in love with Edith Keeler. And he's like, oh, fuck. Spock's always like, God, again? But yeah, look how beautiful she was back then. So she runs this like hotel for homeless people. Like she's a do-gooder in the 30s. And as it turns out, that's what was wrong. She has to die, or the World War II gets escalated, something like that. It's really fascinating and really entertaining. I recommend it to anybody that doesn't like Star Trek. The City on the Edge of Forever, if you can find it.
Yeah.
This is a bubble ride in this Canton Towers in China. So it's this tower, and they have a ride on top, which looks really cool. And then this is the tower. So you're riding up there.
Okay.
And they also have a ride where you go down. It's called a sky drop. And the only reason I brought it up is because now I'm working in an office again. And how angry would I be if all this happened outside my window on a daily basis? you just hear people going, ah! like every 5 minutes.
You have to see a million tourist shorts fly up as they pass your
I used to
window.
work in Midtown where I just used to have the Columbus Day parade all the time. And now it would be this, like every 5 minutes. It'd be awful.
I mean, that's for the daring. I'm afraid of heights. I can't even go down a long escalator without freaking out.
Yeah, exactly. And there's this new glass elevator called at One Vanderbilt here that was freaking me out. It was too high to ride it. Catalina says she's in Chile and she's working on her physics homework and having trouble because she's enjoying the show.
Sorry, Catalina.
We always like to show pictures from Fashion Week because we can't figure out where anybody's going to wear it. This is Valentina. This one is actually a good one for what we've seen. Now, wait till you see this. And I don't know if you heard about this. If any of you guys heard about this. This is Bella Hadid. And this was in Fashion Week. And it was a spray-on dress. As
right.
You heard about this?
I did. I saw the pictures. Yeah.
This is amazing. She's only wearing, some panties. It's hard to say for some reason as a boy. And panties. Oh, Anonymous is like, I wore that to work today. So they're spraying it on. And then this is the dress that was sprayed on. I mean, how is that even possible?
Oh, that's funny. It's like it's made out of silly string or something. That's like some fabricy thing that just.
That's
whatever.
exactly. It can be returned to liquid. And people were saying it's great, but they could see droplets at the bottom. So it's not perfected, but
it's great to wear out until you're like, oh fuck, it's gonna rain.
Right. Can you imagine? Right. That's the one thing. Like, you got to get back before it rains. Now remember, it's going to start raining at 4:30. Make sure you're back by then. But isn't that fascinating?
That's funny. I like the picture you showed before, though. It looks like the model fell asleep in a dressing room and someone scribbled all over her.
Yeah. Right, you're right. It looks like one of your friends got drunk and just was having some fun, like Ross and Rachel on Friends.
Yeah, they drew too many dicks on her face, and they're all competing.
Exactly. I love the dicks on the face. I made this one because we have Catalina from Chile. This is in Chile.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. It only happens every 5 to 7 years when you get this like blooming from just rare heavy rainstorms. So that's what made it nice, because Catalina was just telling us that Chile sucks for some reason. I can't remember what it was at the beginning of our broadcast today, but certainly looks like a pleasant place to be. See, this is where Catalina should move in Chile, like you moved to Vermont.
Just frolicking through the fields like Julie Andrews and The Sound of Music or something.
Or Julie Andrews, exactly. And this is, speaking of that, and I know you're big into climate change. I believe this is in, England, and they're pulling down this pylon, because they're trying to change the national grid to keep the natural beauty. So they're trying to put everything underground, trying to get rid of these high tension wires, so they can keep. What were you saying?
I was saying it's smart because that's what New York has, and that's why shit has to really, really hit the fan for the power to go out in New York the way it just goes out all over the place, like in California or wherever where you have suspended power lines that are vulnerable to anything.
Well, this is where I grew up. This is my town. I mean, everyone we know from here has cancer. Or brain tumor. This is exactly my neighborhood where I grew up, and this is all we used to play under these.
I went to a high school. I went to Beverly Hills High School, and there was an oil well on the campus that wasn't capped properly, and a bunch of the graduates came back and filed a class action lawsuit because they all got Hodgkin's and lymphoma.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. But wait a minute. Now you got to back up. Why would there be? How could Beverly Hills High have an oil rig on its campus?
I don't know how. I only know that it was there. It had a big tarp on it with flowers, and it was emitting lots of benzene.
That doesn't make any sense.
There's a ton of hidden oil wells around Los Angeles.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Molly, was Clueless filmed at Beverly Hills High?
No, that was filmed at a different high school. I forget exactly where, if it was like Brentwood High or something like that, but it wasn't Beverly Hills High. And the name Bronson Alcott High was made up. She took that because she was engaged to Bronson Pinchot at the time.
Oh my God, I was going to say Bronson Pinchot, and I didn't think you were going to say that, and I was going to make a joke about it, but oh my God, it's for real.
It's exactly that. His middle name is Alcott, like I guess Louisa May Alcott. His name is Bronson Alcott Pinchot, and she just made it Bronson Alcott High.
Your mother has the strangest taste in men and yet the most obvious taste in men. She seems to like a certain type, like a weirdo.
She likes two types. She likes two types. She likes the George S. Kaufman type, and she likes the guys who look like Kafka, and then guys that I guess are like vaguely sort of ethnic looking, like Bronson or Amir Harrison or something like that. Those are the three types.
Right. Isn't that funny? Wow, she was engaged to him. So that was during Perfect Strangers time then.
It was a little after. It was after Perfect Strangers time. He was done with it, and that was around First Wives Club time.
Yeah, but I was going to say, because if we were looking at if she named the school from Clueless after him, and that was done in '94.
When was Perfect Strangers over? I feel like it was.
I feel like it was in the 80s, but I think it was the late 80s. I feel like it went into the 90s. That's why I was confused. I'm fascinated by the timelines. That's why I need. Jack Morrell just wrote
the Perfect Strangers timeline, because if we don't nail this, it'll throw off the multiverse.
Jack Morrell just wrote Bronson Pinchot's a handsome motherfucker. Listen, Bronson Pinchot's been great in everything. He's fucking genius in Beverly Hills Cop. He's actually genius in Beverly Hills Cop 3. In fact, thank God for him in that movie. It's a small scene, but I mean, that movie's the worst, but he's good. He's amazing in True Romance.
Mm-hmm.
He's amazing in the one with Tom Cruise, Risky Business. I mean, this guy was good in his day.
He's really good. He's a Yaley, so he's like well trained. He's really smart. He loves to ad lib and have a good time. So
Yeah, he seems like a good guy. I've run into Mark Lynn Baker a couple times from Perfect Strangers, because he used to be part owner of this restaurant that my friend owns here, the West Bank Cafe. Him and Louis Black own it. Now Mark Lynn Baker's in She-Hulk.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's the dad.
Yep. So, Perfect Strangers ran until 93.
93. So you were right. Right after the run, she dated him and named the school after him. That is, see, I'm going to need you to also zoom into the class, because let's get through these slides. Then I'm going to ask you a question. This is a Swedish geneticist. His name is Svante Pääbo. He won the Nobel Prize for pioneering the use of ancient DNA to figure out how we were all created. I just think it's funny, because I feel like with ancient DNA, you're just really making it up. Because how could it be ancient DNA? Come on, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, our bone structure is really good.
I thought it was just him posing with his friend Yorick.
Well, that's what apparently his colleagues hate him for not just winning the Nobel Prize. He must be like Sheldon Cooper and being like a wise guy, because then they threw him in the pool right after that.
That's funny.
And I swear they did. Like, he got thrown in the pool.
Yeah.
He looks like a fun guy.
Scientists are like goofy and weird and petty with each other, just the way comedians are. It's kind of awesome.
It's true. It's true. What did Catalina just say? Anonymous, teach me, because I seem to be choosing the wrong men. Yeah, well, that's because you're a child, Catalina. Speaking of wrong
men until you're like 50.
Yes. Well, speaking of wrong men, these horrible, the Jews, the bad ones.
As Kanye would call them.
Exactly. We've got to go to DEFCON 3. He doesn't even know it's DEFCON. But these are the Jews that hate women. And there's apparently, I didn't even know about this, a ritual the night before Yom Kippur where you got to do these things with chickens. And it's one of those weird things. It's one of these weird things where they're trying to do the right thing, but they suck. So they're going to kill these chickens, but they're putting them over the head of people, but then they actually try and give them away, like to people that don't have money. So it's confusing because they're just such dicks. And look at these poor kids. There's like, hey, let me wave it above your head. I mean, this ritual is stupid. This is I don't know if you ever saw the movie Angel Heart with Lisa Bonet. This is how she got canceled.
Oh my God. I
which
didn't
is
see
hilarious. Because, first of all, this movie's amazing. It's called Angel Heart.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Okay.
Made by this unbelievable director who did Fame. What's his name? He's dead now. He was such an interesting Alan Parker. He was such an interesting director because every movie was different. He would make musicals, he would make dramas, he'd make scary movies. This is really good. But the best part about this is Lisa Bonet during the Cosby years, and Bill Cosby called her out for doing these kind of scenes. And now it's extra funny now, is what I'm saying. It's like, what a two-faced prick he was. Kind of ruined her career from being a two-faced prick. But, and here's a rooster. This is right in New York City, and this is the blessing of the animals, an event at St. John's Cathedral in New York City. The exact opposite, where I don't think it's going to be killed. And as you can see, this rooster is totally in awe of, like, I'm like, oh, wow.
It's going to get bar mitzvah.
Oh, I like the stained glass. Well, I know you like puppets, so so I know this. You like this kind of stuff too.
Yeah.
And then again, this is in the Philippines. It's World Animal Day, so they have a priest doing the holy water to these two-headed dogs. No, I don't. They only look two-headed.
I love the fact that the dogs are probably like, if we're not just looking at a picture of it, the guy's sprinkling the water on the dogs and they're like trying to drink it.
Right. Yeah, right. I mean, it's just so fucked up. But now, how bad do the Jews are killing these animals? But I mean, I know we all eat chicken, but we don't want to know from it. Well, maybe you don't. I don't know. Are you?
I eat a lot of chicken, but I don't feel bad about it because they're so fucking stupid. I heard that like sometimes when you keep a lot of chickens, they were putting like little red sunglasses on the chickens so that they couldn't see blood on other chickens, because if a chicken sees blood on another chicken, like they'll just go at that chicken and peck it until it dies, you know. Like,
that is pretty stupid. I guess you're right. Well, I guess that's what they're here for, just like in the movie Babe, we know. But it's fun. I always think of Friends, where Joey goes like, no, turkeys are stupid and delicious. So that's my favorite thing. Speaking of stupid and delicious, this is an actual, remember we were talking last week about the boats that got all sunken in from Hurricane Ian, and this is an actual shrimp boat, because we were showing Forrest Gump pictures last week. This is an actual shrimp boat that it's just right out of the movie. Because remember, well, you can barbecue it, you can boil it, you can bake it, you can saute it, and you got shrimp kebabs, shrimp Creole, shrimp gumbo, pan fried, deep fried, stir fried. There's pineapple shrimp, lemon shrimp, coconut shrimp, pepper shrimp, shrimp sweet and sour shrimp stew, shrimp salad, shrimp and potatoes, and I think that's about it.
I love that you memorized the whole thing. Like that's your go-to monologue for any audition.
How did you know that? Did your mom tell you? Because that's what I auditioned for Vamps with, but Todd Barry got the role.
Oh my God, you went in for the Todd Barry role.
I'd rather not discuss it if you don't mind. Now, remember we were also talking about this last week, this creepy little this thing they kept bringing around New York, this giant puppet. Did you see this, Little Amel?
I did. I saw pictures of it, but I didn't see it in a boat.
This is her leaving town. They bought her everywhere. When I'm like, if you're high as a kite and you're like, it's again the airplane all over, they're coming right at us. I mean, that is terrifying. If you're on the other side of that bridge.
It's like if Flat Stanley was huge and horrifying.
Exactly. Hey, check it out. I performed up here.
Oh, nice.
This is Pier 17. They do comedy and music up here. It was awesome.
Oh, wow.
I opened for Sarah Silverman up there. It was really, really cool.
Oh, that's awesome. She's
amazing.
Amazing.
Isn't that cool? And then I remember just looking around and I'm like, wow, you can see the Verrazano from here. And they're like, that's your material? I'm like, no, let me continue. It was very, it was hard to concentrate.
Mm-hmm.
And this one I put in because I just found this today. I'd never seen it before. And it's one of those things like when you have a favorite movie, and I know maybe you think I'm joking, but I'm not, that really this is my favorite movie, and I've got many reasons why. But when you have your favorite movie and then you see it's an actual movie, like you don't think about it this way. I mean, there's your mom actually directing the movie. It's like, then it makes it all real. When you have a favorite film, you're like, well, nobody actually directed, it just made itself.
Right. Yeah.
But when it all comes real like that.
That's how I feel when I see voice actors doing the cartoons that I'm obsessed with, because it's like, no, my reality is shattered.
Yeah. We were just talking, remember Woody Allen movie, Radio Days. My dad's favorite part was ironically Wallace Shawn.
Yes.
Because that's where, right. And that was the funniest part in the movie, where he was playing like a Superman type on the radio, but then it was Wallace Shawn when you met him.
Right.
And I guess because my dad grew up in radio, he thought that was the funniest part, which I didn't understand. But anything Wallace Shawn does is funny, except for the last Woody Allen movie, which was not good. That was called Rifkin's Festival. But Louis C.K. told me that he got an email from Woody Allen saying, he's like, why'd you use Wallace? He goes, everybody is so canceled. All I have left is Wallace Shawn. I can't use anybody. Yeah, he just wasn't right for the part, and everybody loves Wallace. Nobody doesn't like Wallace Shawn. It just didn't work. Did you see it, Rifkin's Festival?
I didn't see it, but I feel like Woody Allen writes his movies for him, and then now that he's too old, tries to get other people to play him. So
yeah, that's exactly what it is.
To see like Jesse Eisenberg, who I just hate anyway, trying to
Cafe Society. Exactly, they're all doing Woody Allen imitations. You're so right. Yes, it doesn't work. You're absolutely right. Did you see the one where Kenneth Branagh played him?
Celebrity. Yeah, that was weird because he sounded just like him. It was
that's the thing. Like, why do you need him to do the accent? I just lost $30,000. I mean, what do you need Kenneth Branagh to imitate Woody Allen? It's not necessary. I agree 100% with what you're saying.
Yeah, well, he did Hamlet, so obvious next step was Woody.
Exactly. And here's the other thing where, again,
her old nose.
Oh, she got hers done too?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes
that's
me
why
happy.
I have
Let's
such
take
a
a look.
hang up about my nose, but I'll also never get it done because I liked her old nose.
This is the new note. You're right. It's smaller.
Yeah. I like the old nose. It has more attitude.
Yeah,
I agree.
I agree 100%. You imagine? I mean, but this is what the class is about. This woman, Molly's mom, fucking a woman director in 1982. That is the biggest fascination of all. And we need to know more about that because really, this is why I started this course. I don't know whether I told you. It was just they were talking about that Patty Jenkins from Wonder Woman. And I'm like, the first one's okay. The second one's awful, god awful. And I'm like, no. You can't talk about this girl, this woman. We need to be talking about Amy Heckerling and the fact that she was doing this when it's ironic. The first female director that I know about, just at the top of my head, is Joan Rivers, who in 1977 or 78 made this movie Rabbit Tests with Billy Crystal. It's not very good, but I remember her directing it. And then after that, it's your mom. And that's why she's not brought up in every conversation is why I'm teaching this class.
Oh, that's really cool. That means a lot to me. I'll tell her because I'm sure that would mean a lot to her too.
Well, we're hoping. I bet you the kids would love if she zoomed in and maybe answered some questions. I bet you they'd be really fascinated by. I think she's fascinating. But again, that's what I'm. She needs to be part of every Oscar conversation that there is, because in this day and age when we're all talking about all that, why is she being looked over? It drives me nuts.
Oh.
And think about it, she directed a classic boys comedy, Yeah. Oh, there it is. Rabbit Test, the first pregnant man. That's right. Look, she even put director person. What is
there they are. They look so hip.
Wait, what is that?
The chicken sunglasses.
Oh, the chicken sunglasses. I wasn't paying attention. My God, that's right. Oh, you are, Mike, you are amazing. Goodness. Well,
this has been really awesome.
You really are. I really, I wasn't kidding. I think Mike and I would both want. I mean, I wish you were in town. We wanted you to co-host every week. We just want to, right,
I
Mike?
appreciate that.
That would be great.
Yeah, you're really fun. You're cool. Your background is epic. But it's not just that. It's like, even if all that wasn't, you're a really nice person. You're really funny, and you're just cool. And it
I
seems like
appreciate
you have the same sense of humor. And for some reason, even though you're much younger than me, you seem to know all the classics. So, well, you've been taught.
It's the old soul thing.
Yeah. Look, Catalina's like, we love her. Anonymous, hell yes.
Oh, I love you guys too.
Get a room.
Ah,
Yeah, well, sometimes I do this with boys, so
there you go. He does this with Alex Sulkin too.
damn it, that's true. Well, who doesn't like Alex? You're just in love with Alex Sulkin. Alex Sulkin was on.
I love all the Family Guy writers because I'm just like, I love you guys so much.
Isn't
I
that
love
the best?
Gallows humor.
I save them up on Sundays, and sometimes I laugh so hard. At least the first 5 minutes is always going to be funny, and then sometimes the premises aren't as good as some of them, and some of them are just flawless. My friend from college, also Chris Regan, writes for the show now.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maggie Mull, she's great too.
Oh, Maggie Mull, right. They were dating.
I know. They were like my favorite
really?
Hollywood power couple for a while.
How did you know? Do you know Chris Regan?
I follow them on Instagram, like a fangirl obsessive loser. So they probably all think I'm a weirdo stalker.
Oh, they definitely. No, nobody.
But they seem really cool. I was bummed when they broke up. Like I had a vested interest for some reason.
I was bummed too. He was very happy with her, and I think I know why they broke up. And I told them
it's none of my business, but they both seem cool, and I'm glad that they're out there just being awesome.
What we love, you and I love the gossip shit. Come on, I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to tell everybody right now. No, I'm not.
Oh my god.
No, he was really upset. He really liked her a lot, and I agree with you. I thought they were a good couple.
It happens.
Yeah. Well, what does somebody who lives in Vermont do at 7:30 at night on October? Do you go out and do Halloween stuff? Get prepared.
We're getting prepared for Halloween.
Magic?
I'm probably just gonna go downstairs and eat dinner and be a lazy couch potato after I get off the phone with you.
Oh,
I'm just
do you love this girl? Do you love this girl? I'm doing
die.
the exact same thing. I love her. What could be better than that? Exactly. Well, when you come back to town, call us so we can meet up in person. I mean, do this show above the Comedy Cellar. It's super fun.
Yes, that would be awesome.
Yeah, because I know you say you go in and out, so please let me know. And yeah, I don't know. I'm going to give you a call next week. Just talk to you for something.
Awesome. I'm always I'm here. I'm around. I'm just doing my writing and knocking around the house with my joints.
Oh, they want to know what you're going to be for Halloween, and since you have kids, I guess you're definitely going to be something.
No, I'm just going to make sure that my kids are something, and then I'll, just schlep them around the neighborhood like a good parent.
You're not going to dress up?
I didn't put any thought into anything this year. Maybe I'll go as Joan Crawford.
Oh. Well, that sounds fun. Well, whatever you go as, it's going to be awesome. Molly Heckerling, thank you so much. Do you have, I know you're in a transitionary period. Do you have anything coming up that we should know about?
No performances. No, nothing really coming up to plug. If people want to check me out online, I'm on Twitter at Molly Schmolly, on Instagram at Molly Heckerling. I did write a book that I self-published not too long ago called Metanoia. If anybody likes being greatly, greatly disturbed, I would recommend it if you're into Kafka. But who the fuck is? So I don't know.
Experience.
Yeah. I would recommend it to people I hate. So
I do the same thing with my Cars movie.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to watch your movie tonight. That's what I'm going to do.
Well, all right. Well, hopefully we'll still be friends after, but
Yes.
Yeah, definitely let me know what you think. Mike, well, let's say goodbye to Molly. Thank you so much for coming. And
thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun.
Everybody loves you on the show. So yes, anytime. You're always welcome. Like I said, if you ever come back to town and just want to, please come on every week. Everybody would feel that would be the way to go.
I'll stalk you outside the Comedy Cellar.
I have no problems with that. I can think of worse people to stalk. So, all right, Molly Heckling, everybody, thank you so much on the Comedy Cellar Nightly Show. Oh, Mike, isn't she just the absolute best? She looks amazing. She's so much fun. I just love the fact that she knows all about comedy and she knows about movies, and of course, why shouldn't she? And that she has no problem. Bye, Aunt Judy. Hope you feel better. Happy Sukkot. Oh, go Yankees. Yeah. Well, we're rooting for the opposite. And I mean, the best part about her, and I've said this on, if you've been watching for the past 2 years, when we have people like that on, like Dave Bryan's daughter from Bon Jovi, or, kids, when they appreciate who their parents are and aren't like the fact that her mom is working with her on a project, that she gets it. Because for years I've known kids like this that didn't want their parents' help. And then at the end, they always go to their parents. They're like, can you just do this for me? So I like the fact that she's all in, now, and just does, why not? If you have the sources, and this is a good person, it's not like, asking Donald Trump for a favor or something like that. It's there's probably a better example, but I'm just saying, why not? I mean, she's great and she wants to help. My friend Gary, his dad used to be a big sports agent. He goes, no, I want to do it on my own. I want to make it on my own. I don't want my dad's help. And then he wasn't making it on his own. So he goes, I started working for my dad. So jealous, of course. But, like I said, my dad sells bras and girdles. And if you listen to Just Get on the City, I will tell you what happened to me on Saturday night and the people I met and the things I did, which is hilarious. When I say, this guy's like, my dad was a race car driver. My dad sold bras and girdles. And then what came after that is hilarious. Also, I'll tell you about the Billy Joel thing and something else too that happened on Friday night. Now I can't remember what it was, but it's all be covered on the podcast Just Get on the City. On Billy Joel this week, we are doing the Mexican Connection, an instrumental song. The nerve of this guy putting out an instrumental song, but we are covering that. And no, this is the time. Oh, he did. This is the time at the concert. Yes. He did a couple of deep cuts. And thank you, Angela. Who the duck brings lentils to a funeral? Well, I told you it was the guy's wife, it turned out. I thought it was some asshole bought lentils to a funeral. Exactly. Mike, where are you performing this weekend? Where can we see you?
Well, nowhere. I'll just be at home.
Oh, well, I guess that happens listen, you pretty much perform every weekend. It's pretty cool. So taking a week off isn't that bad, but we'll be back next week right here. I thought we were live and we were going to do the root beer birch beer, but we'll be back next week. I'll try and get us another lovely guest. I mean, it's going to be hard to top Molly, but we'll give it a try. And if it's just us. Oh, and Marcy, if you're around, or any of you guys, if you want to mail in your football picks to Mike, that would be helpful, so we can keep track. Exactly. Mike, did It's the It send in some photos today?
Oh, I didn't check. I'm sorry.
Well, Marcy, we could do picks. I mean, I just thought everybody was kind of done. Mike, what do you think?
Oh, we have time.
I'm ready to do them. Do you want to do it?
Yeah. Do you want to go over last week's first?
Yeah, if everybody's up for it. I mean, we can just do it. Yeah. So everybody did great except for Mike.
Yeah.
But everybody's doing better than me overall. I love wait, what's the game I wanted to discuss was we all tied in the Chicago. This is stupid. What's the one that was like a sure thing and we all lost? Oh, Kansas City. No, but what's the one? Oh, the Chargers was really annoying because they no. Wait, what was the most annoying one where they just covered by a point or something? I can't remember. We stink. No, we didn't do bad, but I still feel like I did bad. Felt like the Giants was the easiest one. They ended up winning the game, but whatever. Yeah, so if everybody wants to stick around, you don't have to, obviously. But Marcy, yeah, I guess we'll do the picks, right?
Sure.
Okay, I'm up for it. I just wasn't sure if I thought I didn't want to buy. I asked her to stay for the picks, and I'm like, So we'll have Nick do it again later. I'm going to share my screen again. Might as well. And where do I have it? I don't have it up. Hold on a second, Mike. I gotta get this together here. Go back and let's do it. All right. We are up and running. Oh, wait. Why can't I? Oh, that's what's wrong. I can't see it. Can you see this?
I'm seeing it.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't seem to. I can't lower it. Why is it different than normal? Like, why am I having? Can you see it now?
Yep.
Oh, good. Okay, perfect. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that, everybody. Well, who cares? All right, great. Everybody's into it. We only have to leave when we're in the studio, right? At 7:30.
Right.
But if nobody's doing anything, I mean, I'm not doing it. I don't have plans. I don't want to watch that Yankee game. I mean, I want to watch them lose, but what? Boy, here's a shitbag game again. Like, if you watch Thursday's game, the Colts and the Broncos, nobody wants to win. I don't know what happens here. The Chicago stinks. Washington's even worse. I'll just pick the home team. I'm going to go Chicago, Mike.
Yeah, Chicago.
It's so bad. I had Molly in, but it doesn't matter. You guys, Marcy, like Chicago. I'll just pick Chicago. Well, we don't even know if anybody else is around. We're just going to go with Marcy's picks anyway. Until we get to Tampa, and then Cammie can make hers. Geez, this is a tough one. San Francisco's been playing great. Falcons haven't been playing horrible. They just keep losing, but they keep covering. I feel like, oh no, I keep winning on Atlanta, and I don't know. 5.5's a lot. In San Francisco, it's 2 weeks in a row. They go to the East Coast. Can they do it twice? I'm gonna stick with my boys. I gotta pick Atlanta. I don't know, Mike.
I'm gonna go with 49ers.
Oh, that's such the right move. I see everybody else is picking 49ers. So 1 for Atlanta. I think Cammie picked Atlanta, but I see more 49ers. Then we have the Patriots and the Browns. Oh God, the Browns suck. That's why I picked the Chargers, but the Chargers didn't end up covering the goddamn spread by a point. I was so angry. What do you think happens here, Mike? You go first. I can't figure it out.
I think it's gonna be another stupid close game. I'm gonna go with the Browns.
Yeah, I guess I'll take the Pats and I'll just taking the points. I'm taking +3 if it ends up in 1. Looks like everybody's taking the Pats here too. Well, taking the Jets. Listen, why not? Taking the points. Green Bay's coming back from London. The Jets have an opportunity. I mean, this is exciting. Mike, what do you think?
I'm gonna go with the Jets as well for once. I
don't know
season.
Yeah, the Packers have not been. They shouldn't have gotten 10 points. Everybody's picking the Jets. See. Now we're all gonna get fucked. This is, folks. You don't know what it's like being a Jet fan. Anonymous, I appreciate what you're saying, but this is what it is. You go like, hey, I think we got a chance, and then they're gonna let you down. Just like the Mets. Exactly. Oh my God, another shitbag game. What are they? The Jaguars should be in first place. They played the Texans last week, and they play the Colts this week. I mean, these are just some shitbag games. Yeah. I'm picking the Jaguars. I know they lost to Houston, but the Colts can suck it. They were lucky they beat the Broncos.
I'm gonna go with the Colts. I have no idea.
No, we have no idea. Of course, I see everybody picking the Jags. Here's Mike's Dolphins. Oh, the Vikings suck on the road. They almost suck at home. Almost lost to Chicago. They're so hard to figure out. But the Dolphins are down to their third string quarterback. So I'm going to pick the Vikings, but I'll tell you, I hate picking them on the road. They stink too. Marcy's picking Miami. I see Anonymous picking Miami 2017. Scruffy Miami. Mike, what do you think?
I'm going to stay with Miami.
You're doing the right thing. Marcy's Bengals and the Saints. The Saints are a strange team. That was one of those ones that fucked us. Can't remember who they were playing, but the Seahawks.
Yeah,
they were right there. They're right there, and all of a sudden the Saints covered the spread. I don't know how they did that. The Bengals got screwed last week by the Ravens at the last minute. Marcy, we know you're picking the Bengals. Is that really even necessary? We're going to pick the Bengals for you. What can I pick the Bengals? Yeah, the Bengals are going to win. Yeah, the Saints stink. I mean, they don't stink, but the Bengals aren't doing that great this year, but I'm going to go with the Bengals to win this particular game.
Same.
Yep. Got to represent. Nice, Marcy. I love Marcy. Oh, wow. The Giants and the Ravens. I'll tell you something. I don't like any of these teams, but I'm going to take the points. I'm taking the points. They're coming back from London. I don't know how that affects anything, and I don't know why it should. It's just like coming back from the West Coast. Same amount of flying time,
Mhm.
This is an experiment they've been doing this year with all the teams coming back from London. You had the choice to either have your bye week or play. And I think everybody's like, who cares? We do this if we're on the West Coast. So I'm going to go with the points and the Giants. They've been playing really well, and the Ravens are weird.
Yeah, same here.
And everybody's saying Giants. Do I see that, Mike?
Yep.
Can't believe I'm picking the Giants. They're 4-1. Oh, and they're at home. Oh, that's why the guys were talking about the tailgate. My friends were in London at the game, so they're all in this year. Oh boy, jeez. The Bucks aren't playing very well. They beat the Falcons. They were lucky. Falcons came back. The Steelers got crushed, obviously, by Buffalo. I don't see them getting crushed. Mike, how are you playing this one?
I'm going to go with the Bucks.
I know. I'm nervous. The Bucks don't deserve points. But the Steelers suck, but they sucked on the road. Oh, fuck. I'm going to pick the Steelers, but I hate myself. Anonymous is going to say Bucks for Cammy. Okay, that seems fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the Rams 10.5 over the Panthers. The Panthers stink, but the Rams shouldn't be favored by anybody. Oh boy. Jeez, that's a really tough one. It's hard to pick the Panthers. I feel like the Rams have to have a breakout game. I'm going to take the points. Wow. Mike, what do you think?
Yeah, they're playing at home. I'll go with the Rams.
Yeah, it looks like we're all taking the Rams. I mean, ugh. Oh God, the Seahawks and the I hate Geno Smith, but he has been putting up some crazy points. You're getting 2.5 at home. All right, fine. I'll fucking take it. I'll take the Seahawks. I hate that Geno Smith, but the Cardinals stink. I know they won this week, but who are they playing? The Panthers?
Yeah, but the Seahawks, didn't they screw up too?
You mean last week?
Yeah.
Well, just with their defense. I mean, it's just this time they're playing at home. I don't know. They scored like 39 points and they lost.
Right. I'm going to go with the Cards.
So is the chat room.
Yeah.
So look what we missed. Dave bitching is hilarious. Thank you. Oh wow. And this isn't even an 8:00 game, Mike. Kansas City against the Bills. This is just a regular 4:30 game. Wow. Kansas City just squeaking out a victory last night against the stupid Raiders, and the Bills wanting revenge. I'm taking wow. The Bills are favored here. I'm going to take the Bills. I'm going to take the Bills and feel good about it.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Bills.
I see Marcy taking the Bills. Nana's taking the Bills, but Scruffy's taking Kansas. Is that 2-1 there, or
that's 2-2?
2-2. I guess we'll let them take Kansas since we'll split it up. We'll take the Bills, and you guys will have a win or loss, right?
Sure.
Or is that a third one that just came in? That's
Bills, Chiefs, Bills, Chiefs.
Okay. Eagles, Dallas. Boy, these are good ones. I mean, this is a good tough one. And there's so many shitbag ones, So the 4-0 or 5-0 Eagles, right? They just, it's hard to play in Arizona. They won. The Cowboys are playing great. It's a divisional game, and the Cowboys haven't lost since that guy Josh or whatever his name is, Cooper Rush. Wow. Shit, I'm going to take the Cowboys and the points. I'm going to go Cowboys and the points. Mike, what do you think?
How many games has Cooper played?
I think 4, 3.
I'm going to go with the Eagles. This is usually when they figure out where their backup quarterback. What happened to Dak?
Oh, right. If Dak's playing, I'm taking the Eagles. But
I don't think Dak's playing. I just mean when Dak replaced whoever that last guy was.
Yeah. No,
Like
I know what you
figured him
mean.
out for a few weeks.
I'm just saying, they'd be idiots to put him back in. I mean, keep this guy going until he loses,
Yeah.
I see. Well, I don't know what's going on here. I see both. So, Mike, what's the consensus?
It's the Eagles 3-2. So Eagles.
Okay, Eagles it is. And finally, Monday night game. I'm putting everything I have on the Chargers -4.5. The Broncos stink. I don't know what happened last week. Why they had trouble. He's a little injured, Justin Herbert, but that spread is way too low. The Broncos suck. I mean, they suck. Mike, what do you think?
I mean, Chargers. The Broncos are so bad.
That's my best bet. 4.5. Why isn't that one 10.5? I guess because they've been playing such close games, the Broncos, but they've been playing against the Colts.
Oh, that's right.
What?
Varsity voted for the Eagles twice.
Oh, she did? Oh, you son of a... Well, you got us. So what's happening here? Everybody saying Chargers? Yeah.
Yeah, they're all saying Chargers.
All right. We'll get Nick's picks next week. And those are the picks for week 6 where they play for pay. Well, super fun show. I can't believe we almost went 2 hours like old school, like last year. And thank you, everybody, for staying with us. I mean, I don't know if the picks are exciting for everybody. That's why we just put it last. But, I love doing it. I think Mike likes doing it.
Yeah.
And
what was that bear thing you sent?
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, my God. I forgot that because we were talking. You could show that there's a contest for Fat Bear Week. And it's these bears that are really thin and they're hibernating in Alaska. So you get to choose the fattest bear. And they're doing like a Final Four contest. And today's the last day you can vote. It came down to the next two guys. See, that's what 747 looked like before he started eating. And now that's what he looks like now. And there's 90. They don't have names for these two guys, but look how they bulked up. I'm totally voting for 747. Although 901 looks like he's jacked. Like he's hibernating the wrong way. But yeah, it was the fattest bear contest. I forgot. Isn't that funny? Go back to the other picture with the Final Four contest. Can you go back to it? Yeah. So yeah, there's 747 and 901. So they came from the Thursday bracket. I'm just making that, but I mean, look, yeah, there's 901, 747, and they beat out 856 and 909's yearling. But it's funny. Look at that. They the Final Four. That's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, I would have gone with 854 and been out right away.
What'd you say?
My initial vote would have been for 854. I would have been out right away.
I would have loved. That seemed like the bet. Look how big he looks in that photo. But they're like Santa Clauses. They started like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, where he starts, thin, and then I don't know whether I can bet on this, Marcy. There's so much to think about there. I'm not sure, but yes, I did bet on it. No, that's a good one because they're bulking up to. That's what they do. That's that's how they survive, right? They're going into hibernation, so they're just getting ready. So that's a good one. Are you complaining about that? Because that was I thought that was a fun contest. No, they have to bulk up for the winter. What's better than a little cutie bear? Even though, as long as they're not, I went out. I was at my sister's, for Rosh Hashanah, and stop it. God damn it! I thought we'd. Oh, it freaks me out. I went out to so I'm talking about just kidding. We'll continue after these messages. I went out to drop the garbage off. My sister asked me to do it in front of the house, and I was really nervous that I was going to run into a bear. That happens all the time in Jersey. You're going into hibernation too? Maybe I will too. Like I have to lose weight, so I can teach my class. Not look.
How
like
do they weigh them?
I don't think they're weighing them. I think they're just saying for appearance wise. I don't think anybody's weighing them.
Okay.
They must just tag them somehow and just keep tabs. But I guess they'll be okay. And sleeping for 3 or 4 months sounds pretty good. Anyway, folks, what a great time it was today. Boy, I had a great time with you guys. Not so much Anonymous, but no, I'm just kidding, of course. And I just had a great time being together, and I'm looking forward to next week again. And Mike, it is always such a pleasure. I'm excited when we see each other again back in the studio.
Yes, sir.
And I'll figure out what's going on next week soon. Catalina, you study hard. Have a great week. Marcy, Angela, Anonymous, of course, Scruffy. So great to see everybody. And, go Guardians. And I'll see you next week. Good night, Mikey.